Alright, hello everyone. So let's take a look at gold. Now today's Tuesday. Now remember yesterday I said we've got room to push up into there. So the market did come up into that position as well. I did say in the video yesterday we've got some breakout aspects happening, so you have to be careful with the breakouts. So hopefully you were, because I said make a note of this bar here in the video. That's your 10:30 market breaking out, as you can see. Now with the breakout, market pulls back. So in the pullback, if you went long, you should have been okay. And that was the first PST level yesterday. As you know, yesterday I said this is a zone we should come into and tap into, and that's what the market did. So that's all good. Now the market can still push up a little bit more. So we're really going to push up a little bit more. Okay. And that could also give us this little let me just do this. There we go. So we could still be in this zone, but this zone is obviously a sell zone. This 2,374 I talked about the other day is right there. Okay, you got to be also, yesterday I spoke about it, you got to be mindful about that 2,374. Okay, now today do we have some breakout aspects as well? That's Tuesday. So we've got some Action Jackson moments coming up in the afternoon and also in the morning. So 8:45 to 9 o'clock is here. Now if we, now this is a good dip down into this zone. This zone is nice to buy, and the market's already done that at Astro hours. Okay, so going up into a breakout into that 8:40 to 9 o'clock is an option. And then that could even push towards midday and even towards pre-session. Okay, we have to be, a good hour for today is going to be around 5 o'clock. After 5 o'clock we should have some impulsive moves until 7 o'clock. So those are the hours also you've got to be careful about. Right, from 5 to 7 we're going to have some impulsive moves, which should probably push the market towards 8:15 to 8:30 and possibly until 9:10, which is not a bad place again for the market to turn around a little bit. Okay, and that's that. So this was from yesterday, so I'm now going to get I won't get rid of it, but the reason we've got that white line there is because, remember yesterday I drew that channel because of, you know what that is, low, and then we've got that high coming in from here. Okay, so that was the there. All right, so the market's got a bit of room to, you know, like go in there, tap in there, and then push down. So that 2,350 is, yeah, nicely on the cards, and this is the high of the previous week. So going in there, we'll have to check reaction, because sometimes we'll go in there, you know, put everybody in the game and then pull back and then we'll flip over. So this will be like a push up and then they'll do a push down. All right. So do you want to go into that long move? It's possible and it's doable, and if the market does dip down into this zone, I think it's okay to be going up, because this should at the end of the day go up and possibly break out with these aspects coming in here. Okay, and that's that. So we should have a resistance at 8:40, and there should be a push afterwards until 9, which should break it out, kind of thing. Let's take a look at the euro dollar and move on. Now with the euro dollar, we had some Astro hours here yesterday, as you can see, just a turn around the top here and nothing happened. Now I said the market can either turn here or can just go on until that 9 o'clock to closing, and that's what it basically did, just mildly carried on moving into that zone. Let me just refresh this now. Now with the euro dollar, I still say, let's take a look. It's a bit tricky, as you can see, because the push is downwards, okay, as you can see, and I want to go a bit further down, as you know. So a place to sell off today would be that 63, 1.0804. So let's put 1.0804 in the radar. Right, so that's going to be a spot for us. Okay, as you can see, so going into there is okay. So I can get rid of this. It's already done, and it's been broken out, as you can see. Yesterday, this was a PST level, remember? So the market broke it out. It's coming back. So now at the Astro hours, okay, down here we've got this push up, so we want to go up into that zone. Now this is not a bad place, like I said, to sell off on the daily. Okay, we also have the LCL1, which is 1.0806. So that 080406 zone here is like going to be a target for us. On the weekly, as you can see, we're right in there. So this is a bit of a tricky zone. All right. If the market breaks out, we've got 53.0848, which we talked about before, because that's the weekly 0848. Where's 0848? Is there? All right, so 0848. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this one. So those are the targets that we've got. 0870 is that 50, no, 0840 is also from the monthly. Okay, which is fine. This 0840 is nice. The 70 is also from here, 5128. Okay, so 0840, but 0840 is looking good. It's on the daily, it's on the monthly. So going in there and then kind of like pushing back down is looking fine. At Astro hours, going up is okay. If the market comes into the low of yesterday or the weekly pivot and then pushes back up quickly, I think it's still good to kind of go up. But this zone's a bit tricky, so with euro dollar I recommend extra caution. All right, so because you don't want to be like, you know, mucked around with this. All right, because like I said, the inclination is down. I can get rid of this now because that goodbye kiss was here and it's already done. So now we're up, so we've got this ABC formation upwards. So selling, you know, is the way to go. Now will it get into there? Because it can. The reason is because of the gap there, right? That's why that 0848 is important. Okay, there, because of the gap. If it gets into that gap, which is fine, it's exactly why I want to be selling there. Again, there's a big push there, heading back into there, another big push we'd like to see. Okay, and this is why this 63.0804 is kind of like on the way, which is there. All right, but if it goes above that, this is the zone where you want to be selling off at. Now if it breaks above that weekly, which it's going to do if it goes there, this is why this first target is the first place to sell off at. So be careful at the 0804. Despite the fact that it's a good level, the market might just, you know, like push up to this level, which is, like I said, I like this more. SP 500. All right, so this was the zone we talked about. So no problemo here. As you can see, the market's just been kind of like creepy crawly kind of trending upwards into that 7 o'clock, I guess. That's 7 o'clock there, and then moving into the 9 o'clock since we didn't get a reversal, and then going into the closing. So this was a nice kind of push up, as you can see. Now you got to keep in mind, like I said, the swing days as well when you're dealing with this. So Thursday, I think we've got news coming out. Just make sure you know when the news is coming out. So Monday, Tuesday for this is important. So we might have to get into an Astro hour we need to be careful about. Okay, now the only thing we've got here is the LCL 15198, which is there. So if we go up a little bit more, which is fine. If we go up quickly and then pull back quickly, and make a, M formation or a double or a inverted V, then that might be like interesting for us to sell off if we're at an astro hour. Okay, so selling the highs for us is going to be the way to go with this one. Just a drama because we've got a breakout, and this is why yesterday this was a good buying opportunity. So this is why, let me just double check what we can do here. So maybe we can tricky. All right, so we'll have to see how this thing pans out. Okay, another thing you can do with your PST, if you're using your ATAM strategy, is this. Okay, so if it gets there, this is also going to be resistance zone, so you can follow that through. So this zone is not a bad place to sell off. If it touches your PST line here, then it's also doable. All right, other than that, I can't think of much here. There should be a sell reaction here, or maybe slightly higher if they sweep the stops, but this is the zone. All right, I'm just a bit weary because we've got nothing on the weekly, and on the daily we've got a breakout, and don't like going against the breakout. The only thing that tempts me to short it is because of this blue line here at 5198, and that would make me okay to kind of like sell off slightly higher here, and that's about it. Now Dow Jones, Nasdaq, remember the swing days for these as well, guys. You can actually just trade on the swing days, and you can see Monday and Tuesday SP 500 was okay, and Monday was like everything else was sideways, but you see this is just beautiful going up. Okay, so heading into that zone, and also here we've got the same thing with Dow Jones, right? So this zone is going to be the tricky zone. That's your manipulation, and that's the wick of the manipulation. So we're in that zone, okay, and this is it. So we're at the target as well. So market, as you can see, came into our target zone, also here as well. So this is still a sell opportunity here, I think, because of this nice daily targeting there. And on the weekly as well, nothing is too far out. On the monthly, well, that's right on the PST. Right, so it's either going to be like a retracement and a push down, which I'm okay to trade from here. So this is a good move up. Wanting to sell from here, I think, is logical. And Monday and Tuesday being swing days, looking for a sell setup in this zone is not a bad idea at Astro hours during New York session. Nasdaq. And Nasdaq should be the same kind of thing. Okay, so we're expecting the market to come up here. It's nice and easily in there. The only drama is this got broken out. So this is why I said yesterday with Nasdaq the same thing. You might just want to wait for a better setup on the daily. This was a zone we talked about, HCL1. I should have targeted that one, which is exactly there, as you can see. So the market went up nicely into that target as well, which is fine. Now if you traded that yesterday, you should have also been okay. As you know, Nasdaq Monday, Tuesday are important, so we might want to look for reversals as well. On the monthly, nothing really, that's too far out, so we're either going to push down from that weekly level, and that's about it. Now if the market does sell off, look out for 17978, which should take you into here, 17978. All right, which is about here. So we need this to be broken if it's going to sell off as well, and we also need to just make sure that we do proper money management, because this is going to be a bit tricky because they're tight levels here. Okay, so selling the highs only is okay, and then maybe with a smaller lot size if you're a NASDAQ enthusiast, because there's still a bit of room to go up there. So you might want to just wait a little bit and see how things pan out, and wait for a reversal signal before rushing into this. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now with Bitcoin as well, if you take a look, we talked about this zone being a sell zone. Okay, the pricing here, as you can see, the PST levels there, as you can see. So if you went up in there, the Astro hours sold off, you should have been okay. This was the zone to do so. All right, let's do that. What else? We have Astro hours during. Let's do this. What do we have? This is the morning session. We had 9 to 10, and then we had like 140. 12 should go until 140, and this is your 140 is there, and then 140 the market just pushed down. So I didn't have anything up here for that 12 o'clock, but from 9 to 140 it was like going up, and it was in this target zone. If you bought here to go there, you should have been out at these price levels, or managed your trade at least, because there were PST levels, and you know PST levels, they are tricky. And yesterday we also talked about this level, the market made that as well. So from one PST to the next, just like pushing and shoving. So on the daily, as you can see, this thing probably has room to come down further after it dipped into there. So pushing further down is okay. Your first target is 43. It's going to be a good buy kiss. 61,390. So the market's got opportunity to push into 390, which is the weekly pivot. So we still have a bit of room to come down. And remember, I've marked in this level because there's a gap below. So the market will probably want to push and wave down into here at some time or another. So what you want to do with the Bitcoin is selling the highs are okay. If you want, you can just open this up anywhere along these lines. I think they're okay. You can see the stops have been swept, met the targets, and just pushing down, filled in the gap as well, and it's all good. All right, so for example, 53 is a price of 64,080. So if we go to 64, selling there is okay with a tight stop loss above the high of yesterday, should be okay. So that kind of stuff you can do from the highs to sell down. Obviously this needs to be broken. You can see there how many times it's been touched, but sooner or later this can also this will probably get broken as well, because we should be pushing down into here. Remember, on the daily with Bitcoin, we've broken below these. All right, so anything broken below these, it's got an opportunity to push further down into here, which is the 50 zone that we're expecting.